What a week 15 it was. Kind of a bloodbath of a week. An interesting week. We had the Roma Dunze drama, which kind of hopefully didn't screw anyone over. Luckily with the Dunze, unless you're playing in deeper leagues, probably wasn't in your lineup, but I know we had the in one of our dynasty listener leagues, someone kind of got screwed over there. Luckily, he won, and he won by a good amount, so it didn't affect him. But that sucked. The Jaylen Warren news coming out that he had an illness, and I don't know how much it affected him. I mean, the guy still had like 15 touches or whatever it was, and so I don't know how much the illness affected him. As they bring in my brother here, who's super relaxed because he was all on buys this week. But I was just talking about how it was just a weird week, with the Roma Dunze stuff, all the injuries that happened, the Jaylen Warren news this morning we got. Again, I don't think it affected him too much. He still had a decent amount of touches, but it was still enough to potentially screw over people, especially if you made a rookie mistake like I did and you didn't leave him in your flex. So not that I'm not sure if I would have had another option anyways, but yeah, it was an interesting week for sure. I had one league where the final score in this playoff matchup was 276.5 to 264.7. Those guys dominated. Luck sucks that one of them has to go out with it. Marv is here. How did you do in your matchups that you were not on a bye?
So I was actually on a bye in 6 out of the 9 leagues I made playoffs. I thought it was only 5, and I lost 2 of them. So one by just a couple of points, and one was Mr. Rip Lips taking me down pretty hard.
Yeah. Even though Kyle Pitts got you a 50 bomb.
Yeah, but less than 20 between my 2 quarterbacks combined, so that hurts.
Yeah.
Especially without any real depth. So what are you going to do? I did have an offer. What did McBride end up doing?
He put up a huge game too. I don't know exactly how much, but
let's see if that
46
mattered.
46.5. So it would have, I think it would have mattered by I think it wouldn't have mattered by like 2 points or something.
Yeah, but I would have had to trade away Waddle as part of it. So it would have been closer to 5 points, I guess.
Yeah.
But still could have made it happen.
Yeah, McBride's been awesome.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Looks like max 3 quarterbacks in the first round this year. Yeah. I made a little shorts video that I think I mentioned it at the very end, very quickly at the end of the Sunday stream. But basically in my opinion, there was 4 quarterbacks that had NFL first round potential. And one of them went back to school in Lenora Sellers, which I think he should have, because he's one of those guys where all the talent in the world, but we haven't really seen it translate on the field. So he went back, and then we have 3 other guys. All of them could go back to school, which would be devastating for the 26 class. So I'm already looking to potentially try and moving 26 picks to 27 picks because I just think it's very, very, especially if you have a late 26 pick, first round pick and stuff like that. If you can move that for a 27 pick, I think I would just do it. It seems pretty top heavy. Of course, as we progress throughout the off season and the draft season, we'll get more added into it and all of that. But I don't know. It doesn't look great, to be honest. This draft class doesn't look deep, I guess I should say. So especially, I mean, it's all kind of, to me, it's all really hinging on those quarterbacks. Like, and I personally think two of the three are going to go back, at least, and maybe all three of them. So that's going to be bad. Then we're getting a Kenny Pickett type of year potentially. Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis type of year. So for quarterbacks, which three quarterbacks do you have moving into a starting role next year? You mean like backups right now? I mean, what teams need quarterbacks? I guess we should kind of look through that, right? Jets need a quarterback. Steelers potentially need a quarterback. Browns need a quarterback potentially. Shador might be he might be the best option. Colts potentially could need a quarterback depending on what happens with Daniel Jones. So we're up to 4 teams. Raiders need a quarterback probably. Well, definitely. That's 5.
Maybe the Saints.
Yeah. Going through the divisions here. Yeah, so Saints potentially. Honestly, I think Shuck might be the best. If all those guys go back to school, I think Shuck is the best option for them. As of right now. So yeah, we'll throw the Saints in there as a maybe. So that's 6. Cardinals 7 potentially. So we got 7 teams there that you could realistically say that kind of need a quarterback here. And so, Mac Jones is going to be in play. Is a guy like Zach Wilson in play? He signed a 1-year contract with the Dolphins. Does someone take a chance on him and potentially get as a competition? Jacoby Brissett's going to be in play there. There's going to be a lot of I would start if anyone drops in Superflex Dynasty leagues, if people start dropping these quarterbacks for whatever reason, I would definitely start looking at them. I mean, Mariota. These guys, even Flacco, man. I'm going to hold on to Flacco. These guys could easily have jobs because of this quarterback class. So. Malik Willis is a free agent. That's intriguing. So it'll be fun to look at in the offseason. I'm excited to kind of get to. I've said it multiple times. I enjoy making offseason content more than in-season content. Advancing in my only 2 leagues, 1 redraft, 1 dynasty. Nice, pretty nice there. It's nice when you only play in a couple and you're moving on in both. That's a lot of fun. I got eliminated in only 1 of my, I guess 2. Sorry, 2 of my leagues that I was playing in this weekend. So
yeah,
he got the last laugh.
Yeah, I had the wrong matchup in Zeus. I could have beat you or Dad.
Yep,
but I had
sucks that way.
Mr. Frito Man, the rippest of lips. So,
yeah,
I think Dad would be happy for our old buddy Rip Lips.
Yeah, and for his teams, he always says, "I just want to make the playoffs." Just want to make the playoffs.
I don't know if you have to, but are you reseeding? It doesn't look like you actually have to because Cass would be going against Dad anyways in Zeus.
Yeah, it should reseed automatically.
Okay.
To highest seed. I was originally going to do it to where the higher seeds get to pick their matchup. Maybe I'll do that, implement that next year. I think that could be a little bit fun, but I kind of forgot about that, and then it was a little bit too late for me to do that. So, yeah, but it should reseed to the highest seed will play the lower seed. If
another thing I was going to bring up to you, but I think you already had it established. So in the other league where we have a compensatory pick option, it's actually the bottom 2 teams get the bye. So they have a little extra chance because obviously they're kind of the shittiest teams. And so to give them a little bit of a leg up, they get the first round bye, not the 7 and 8 seed.
Are you saying that's how it should be, or that's
No,
how?
I'm just throwing it out there. Like that's how we do it in Marty's league. I know that's not how we did it here, because you essentially gave the seed or the bye. Like I can see it either way. Like you can see the argument for either way.
Yeah, I just figured it's a competition who's like the best of the worst. So I'm going to give the two top seeds in the toilet bowl the bye. You know, it was originally set up that way, but
yeah, but you could think about it also as who needs the extra pick the worst, right? Like, or the most.
Yeah, but I also think about it as like those bottom teams theoretically, like it's almost kind of rewarding the people that try to make a push to the playoffs that maybe didn't capitalize on like trading away players and getting picks in a way is another way I look at it. Whereas like those other teams should have a lot of picks if they played it right, you know? So yeah. Yeah, I guess I see it both ways, but I think
you could definitely make the argument either way for sure. But I like in one of Marty's leagues last year, I ended up with the 101, and the winner of the toilet bowl actually got the 113, and I ended up with both of those plus an extra first somewhere in the middle. So that really helped because I actually ended up in second, and no thanks to Ashton Genty, that's for sure.
Yeah. Bummer. We did a listener league video on a couple of them. We should do one on the redraft league now that we're in the semis there. Ricky says April, I'm guessing this class will have a tier breaks after 104 and another one after the 108, and another big drop off at the 204, similar to last year. Yeah, it could. I mean, it could also be a lot more shallow. I'm just pulling this up right again. It's still up in the air who's going to come out. So I assume Jeremiah Love's coming out. Jonah Coleman's going to come out. Jonah Coleman, Washington running back, probably a first round pick. Where we stand right now in dynasty rookie drafts, we got a couple wide receivers: Jordan Tyson, Makai Lemon, Carnell Tate. I think Jordan Tyson already announced he's coming out. Makai Lemon, Carnell Tate. We'll see. Denzel Boston. There's some good wide receivers for sure, but I don't know if it gets to I'm excited about four right now. 4 of those wide receivers, 2 to 3 running backs, 1 tight end, and then 3 quarterbacks. What did I say there? 4 wide receivers, let's say 3 running backs, a tight end, and 3 quarterbacks. That's 11 picks. All three of those quarterbacks go back. I'm excited about 8 guys right now. Again, it's December 15th. So, but we'll see. We will see Waller, Loveland, or Dalton Schultz. Man, Waller, 2 touchdowns tonight?
Yeah. 7 catches on 8 targets, 66 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Man, what was up with the Dolphins on that last quarter? It's like they didn't give a shit. Like it was so weird. Like, but then they started to actually play, and it's kind of just like, what are you guys doing? Like,
yeah, they were too cold, man.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm still going to go with Schultz here.
He definitely has the most consistent role in his offense, right? Like, going back, the last 2 months, like he's been way more involved. So I kind of like the Schultz call too.
Yeah. I mean, Waller has the Bengals. I was talking up. I feel like we did pretty good this week in, we were telling people to start Trevor Lawrence when it came down to the kind of like that grouping of quarterbacks that obviously we weren't telling you to start him over everyone, which Trevor Lawrence went off and was over everyone. But, the grouping of guys there and stuff like that, we were kind of on that. Travion Henderson, we were talking about starting and stuff. I was like totally in on Likely, and he put up a goose egg. And the advice I gave you is what I did in my own league. So I started him and I got a goose egg. So, and Mark Andrews didn't even have a good game. So, I guess throw out the Bengals giving up 6 more points per game than the second worst team against tight ends this year. It didn't matter for whatever reason. That's fantasy for you. That's football for you.
I mean,
I would still trust it like it's one game. Go ahead.
fucking 12 pass attempts by Lamar,
Yeah.
like
I think they only ran 40 plays or something crazy in that game. 40 is
Yeah.
very low. Like 60 to 65 is like average. So, yeah, I mean that's a part of it for sure. I still believe the Bengals are not good against tight ends, and so I don't mind Waller here either. It's definitely Schultz versus Waller here for me. So as of right now, I stand Schultz, especially if you just need a little bit of floor. But maybe you need some upside for your tight end, and maybe that's Waller. So Brissett looks like he has a job somewhere. If he goes, if Jones goes anywhere else, I can see Brissett there. Yeah, back to the Colts. Yeah, Brissett's definitely earned a job here. I think Mariota has probably earned a job again. Like 7 teams need quarterbacks, man. You know, maybe Fields still has a job. Like we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen here. Would you start Reed, Rice, or Evans? I think it has to be Evans. Rice.
Rice.
Man. Yeah.
Oh, without
but-
Mahomes, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. I still think Minshew can run an offense.
Yeah.
I
think
think
I'm
it
still
might be
gonna-
Evans though.
Yeah. It's got to be between those two, right? Like, I'm not starting Jaden
Yeah.
Reed over either one of those guys.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Would I start Mike Evans over Rashee Rice? I might. All right.
It's a good matchup though for the Chiefs.
So he has 3 games to get 728 yards. So
I mean, shit, they were trying. What do you have? How many targets did he have?
12
13 or
targets.
something? 12 targets.
Yeah. 6 for 132 and no touchdown. But yeah, it might be Evans. I don't know. That's tough. But I mean, obviously, like, he's the dude. Yeah, it probably is Evans, but I wouldn't fault you for going Rice.
Yeah. For what it's worth, how many passes did Minshew throw?
5.
5. Okay. I think like 4 of them were to Kelsey. So he may just feed the hell out of Kelsey. I mean, they're gonna scheme Rice into this into the game and stuff like that for sure. I know he got hit hard. He didn't get injured, right, Rice? I saw a couple big hits on him, so I was just wondering.
I don't
Doesn't
see
look like he did.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of lean Evans. I kind of lean Evans. I know the matchup is pretty nice. I mean, the Titans, I assume is a pretty good matchup here. Yeah, I mean, fifth most points on the season to wide receivers, and they're giving up a lot over the last month as well. I don't think the Panthers are anything really to worry about. I think I might go Evans. I think, as crazy as that sounds, as quickly as the things change there. 5 leagues made the playoffs in 4 or 5, got booted in 1, now I'm in 3. Yeah, you moved on in our in El Dorado. Congrats there, Marv. You moved on. You and Pete had a pretty good matchup there, both putting up over 200 points. Again, one of those situations where both of you would have beaten the other matchup, but that's why I like playing it the way we do in our home leagues. I haven't, I thought about introducing it to the listener leagues, but I know sometimes people are a little, what the hell are you doing here? When it comes to changing things with fantasy. Basically, Marv, what we do in our home leagues is both our home leagues this year are 10 team. But the top seed gets a bye, and then the other 4 players all kind of play against each other, and the top 2 scoring teams move on. So there's no like head-to-head matchup. So basically, you and Pete would have moved on in that league over Trailer and your girls, just to have kind of award, trying to take a little bit of the luck out of fantasy a tad,
Yeah.
So
and then those 3 remaining teams compete against each other in a 2-week championship. So in that situation, it'd be you, me, and Pete playing for the next 2 weeks. Combined score, whoever gets the most points takes it.
Yeah, we would have to figure out what was going on with Brandon there because he was on a bye. We probably would have thrown Brandon into that. Brandon would have been into that mix, and Peter Porker. So yeah, but anyways, that's what we do there. So, sorry, or Evans. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
When April rolls around after the Senior Bowl combine hype, a couple more players will emerge. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, there's always going to be players that emerge and stuff like that. I'm just worried about when was the Pickett draft 2021? NFL draft 2021. I'm just worried that it turns a little bit into. No, it was 2022.
For Kenny Pickett?
2022. Yeah.
I guess that tracks. I was like, man, he only started 2 years, but no, that'd be 3.
Yeah. So like no quarterbacks came out of that group. I mean, probably the best season you got was the one Sam Howell season.
Actually, I guess he did. I guess he did only start 2, huh? Because last year it was Russ and Fields for the Steelers.
Yeah. That year you had Pickett, Ritter, Willis, Matt Corral, Bailey Zappi, Sam Howell. Like bad quarterbacks. Running backs, you had Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker, James Cook, some good ones there. Rashad White came out of that draft. So you had some good running backs in that draft. Tyler Algier, Kyron Williams, Brian Robinson, Kyron Williams. So a couple good ones there. I feel like the tight ends, we got Trey McBride, Jake Ferguson in that draft. What were the receivers? London, Wilson. Yeah, that's right. We had the London, Wilson, Olave, J-Mo, Jahan Dotson, Burks, first round wide receivers there. So I just don't know if it's deep. Rookie drafts can be good if they're really deep at one position. And maybe that's receiver this year, but I don't see it yet. I don't see it being deep at any one position, unfortunately. Lawrence looks like he'll end the year a top 10 quarterback. Yeah, I mean, where's he at now? Probably top 7 or something.
I think he was 12 going into the week, I think.
Yeah, and he just put up the best fantasy game of the year, any position.
Yeah.
In standard type of PPR scoring.
That was a nice counter for Rip Lips to the Kyle Pitts craziest game he's had in his career, and then Lawrence does that against me.
Oh, I didn't even realize he had that. I was thinking about if you had both Pitts and Lawrence on a team, and just you going into the matchup and you just kind of overlook both those guys, not worried about them at all. And then they probably single-handedly, if someone had them on the same team, just won a matchup. So I guess it would be double-handedly if it was both of them. Would you start Lawrence next week against the Broncos? Obviously at some point you will, but where would you have him?
I don't know.
It's so hard, right? He's playing really well, and now he's running into the Broncos. I mean, Love was able to put up 280 and 1 against the Broncos. I feel like a lot of that came in the first half. Lawrence has been running the ball well.
Yeah,
Lawrence versus. I mean, I would start him. Oh man, Lawrence versus Herbert. Herbert gets the Cowboys, but Herbert has a broken hand and a bad offensive line.
Yeah. That is tough because my instinct is I want to go with Herbert. I probably will start Herbert. Broken hand and all.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I know we're gonna get questions on it, so just kind of prepping there. How is Rice's? Yeah, Rice's. So I think Rice will still be like a wide. Just look at him as like a wide receiver too. He's not like he's the type of receiver. He gets so many short passes, and any quarterback can kind of throw those short passes, and he does a lot of his work after the catch and stuff like that. So he'll still be able to do all of that. So I wouldn't worry a whole. I mean, his ceiling is definitely down. Like his ADOT, average depth of target, 4.8. This is by year. 4.8, 5.2, 4.2 this year. So it's even lower. Like that's a lot of behind the line of scrimmage, passes that are bringing that down and stuff. So I don't worry too much about. He gets 7.8 yards after the catch and stuff like that. Like that's where he makes his money. So I still view him as a wide receiver too, with upside. And again, Minshew's not like a scrub. Like they'll be able to put together an offense around Minshew. Yeah, it's a good point here. When it comes to like conspiracies and stuff like that, with this and just in general, I always think about like how many people have to be in on it for it to work, and how likely is it that not one person's going to come out and like give you hard evidence that hey, this is what's happening. Like they could go to whatever news company they wanted to go and say, hey, I have a huge story on the NFL rigging games for gambling. How much money and notoriety would that person get? Like, so I always think about that, whether that's right or wrong. So I still think, I don't know. I know the Raiders thing. Did you see that last week with the Raiders?
No.
So they were down 10 and they got the ball. I forget when they got the ball, but I think it was under a minute and they were down 10. And, a lot of times teams just like, it's basically over at that point, no timeouts and stuff.
Yeah, they just kind of lay down.
Yeah, they just like, they don't make an attempt. Raiders are like kind of pushing the ball down the field. There was a penalty called, like a delay of game penalty, where the defense was laying on top of the receiver after the play, basically, and they got a delay of game, which stopped the clock. And then like the Raiders, like they decided to kick a field goal with like 4 seconds left. And it takes 4 seconds, 5 seconds off the clock and this was a long field goal too. And they like kick it and it brings it, they make it, and it brings it down to a 7-point win for whoever they were playing that week. And the spread was like 7.5 all week or something. And so people were just like, what the hell is going on? Like, because you just don't normally see that. It's like, okay, it makes sense if there's like 40 seconds left, 30 seconds. All right, get your field goal, see if you get the onside kick and stuff. But that was like, what are you doing? Like, you're just, there's no time at all. Like time literally went out. So, yeah, people are going to, stuff like that's always going to, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
question.
Like even when it comes to like an NFL team, like tanking, the players still are playing for contracts, and like they don't want to just go out there and act like a piece of shit on purpose, kind of thing, right? Because that's their career. They're fucking with their money. Now, where it's possible that kind of stuff happens, and I don't really necessarily believe this, but it's like management, right? Like who you're putting in where, or like I don't know. You see stuff sometimes where it's like, oh, well, that's kind of surprising, like I thought it was weird that the Dolphins didn't have Achane in on the last touchdown drive they had. Like they didn't have him in until they were over midfield. And it's kind of like, why the hell isn't he there? And then Waddle wasn't there either for a few plays. And I was just kind of like, are they just giving up? Because I was obviously watching for Achane because Bree needed him to get about 6.5 points or something to catch up to you.
Yeah, basically needed a touchdown with the yardage, and would have been there. Yeah, and also I don't even know, like, who's to say, and if you guys know this, was there more money on the I want to say it was the Broncos, but whoever the Raiders played a couple weeks ago, I can pull it up here. But was there more money on? Yeah, it was the Broncos. Was there more money on the Broncos covering or on the Raiders? Side of things. Like, I don't like, it goes both ways. It's not like you can only bet on, the Broncos covering or something, like, and you have to imagine what, I'm sure they know at that point where more money is, but you know, I don't know in that specific scenario. Like, there could have been more money on the Raiders, plus 7.5 or whatever. So a friend who thinks all primetime games are rigged. It was weird, like the Thursday night games in particular, and this is going deep into a conspiracy. Amazon Thursday night games notoriously were just like terrible games when they first came out. Like, they first started these maybe 15, maybe a little bit more than 15 years ago. It used to start like in November, like right around Thanksgiving, right before it and stuff. Like, it wasn't every single week. They had the one to start the year, and then it wasn't until like November. Not every team played on Thursday night, and they were just terrible. It was the worst matchups. And then Amazon comes in, and like all these Thursday night games at the beginning of the year were like amazing, like the first 4 or 5 weeks. And then the NBA got caught with like guys rigging games, coaches betting on shit, and the mafia involved. And then the Thursday night games for the next like month sucked. And people were just like, what's going on here? Like, are they trying to like, don't look at us, I don't know. I think there's just way too much involved, man, for that would mean like all the players are in on it, essentially, like, and they're literally like practicing. That's what they're practicing each week, is like, okay, this is how the game's going to go. And we just like study that. And I don't know. It's fun to think about, I guess, but I don't know if I can believe it. I think fantasy football should lean more into the fan. I want to see Frodo scoring a touchdown. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny there. Burrow versus
it's the lawyer about your mascot thing.
Oh yeah, I was if every team gets like to use their mascot during a game at one point, like the Chargers can use like a lightning bolt that comes down, and like it's like a superpower they get to use, or the Vikings get a horde of Vikings that come onto the field. Like, you get to use at one point during the game. And which one? What team was the best? Like the Titans or something?
Yeah, the Giants are pretty good.
The Jets, just get a jet that comes in and just bombs the other sideline or something.
Be a different kind of thing. And yeah, if you want to watch Frodo score a touchdown, watch the movie Rudy, right? Like, I guess that's not Frodo, but that is one of the hobbits, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Sam.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
there's a
hobbit. I don't think he scored a touchdown though. I think he just got like first.
I thought he did in the movie.
I think he got a sack. I think he was on the defensive side. And he got like a sack or something, if I remember. I haven't seen Rudy in a while.
Yeah, well.
And there's some people that say like that he actually didn't get a sack or something, that is the quarterback got the ball out, or I forget what the conspiracy around that is. Like, but it was like a real thing, I'm pretty sure, right? Like a true story, right? And stuff. So
yeah.
Burrow versus the Dolphins on the road in week 16. At least it's in Miami, so that's nice. Lamar in a must-win game versus the Patriots. I'm stubborn. I had started Ashton Genty this week. Did Harold Fannin outscore Genty, by the way?
He must have.
Did he? I don't know what Fannin did. I don't think I have Fannin on a team.
7 for 48.
Yeah, he outscored 14 targets, I think I'm going to start Lamar. I'm stubborn.
Yeah. God, I know. I've been thinking about this ever since it popped up where we were talking about mascots and shit. I'm like, I don't know, man. Burrow killed me for sure this week.
Yeah, it was bad
in at least one league. Lamar even had a good game, even though he only threw 12 times, right? He still got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So yeah, I think it's Lamar.
Yeah, it's funny. Like the feeling is like Lamar's not running the ball, right? Just kind of looking here. Since coming back from his injury, where's the attempts? 5. Am I in the right year? Let me double check this. Hang on. Since coming back from his injury here, 9 rush attempts, 4, 7, 6, 7, and then 2 last week. That's like pretty average for what it's about what he averaged per game like last year and stuff like that.
It's definitely it's a healthy amount. I mean, I don't know. 140 rush attempts last year, 150 basically the year before. So it is down because he's closer to he's kind of broaching 90, on pace for 90
for a 17 game season.
Yeah, because he's got 60 right now in 11 games.
Yeah, so, there's a couple in 24. Sorry, there's a couple big double digit attempt games which he doesn't have this year. But he has 4 double digit last year, and then most of them are between 6 and 9. Which is kind of what he's doing this year. He's just not being efficient. And Ray brings up a good point that if Flowers did drop a touchdown, should have had that one. I think that's 3 weeks in a row now that players are dropping touchdowns for Lamar. So he definitely should be scoring more points. It's just not happening.
Yeah, and the fumble into the end zone by likely 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah. I think there was something last week too, if I remember correctly. So I think I still go Lamar.
Yeah, I think that's
the upside.
That's fair.
Yeah. Which 2 wide receivers would you start in non-PPR? Jefferson, Sutton, Rice, BTJ, Jaden Reed, or Boo. So we're trying to find touchdowns, right? My gut is Sutton. Weirdly enough, did he scored last week?
Yeah, this week. Yeah.
Sorry, yesterday I meant.
Yep.
My gut is Sutton. It's definitely not Jaden Reed for me. I don't think I can do a Buka either. So
yeah, with Evans back.
Yeah, BTJ I'm probably going to avoid because of the matchup. So to me, it's one of the first 3 guys. You like to go best players.
Yeah, he needs 2. What do you think the touchdown upside for Rice is against or with Minshew?
I'd say it's about even with Jefferson, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, Giants are not good either.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be Sutton and Rice.
For you?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Jefferson as well. They should have had a touchdown. It was one of those illegal shift emotion plays where probably didn't affect maybe it did, but usually doesn't affect the play. And there's another one where it's kind of a fireball that McCarthy threw, but also Jefferson probably should have had it. Not sure if that was on the same drive or not, but that could have been 2 touchdowns potentially. Yeah, I probably lean Sutton and Rice, but I don't mind Jefferson either. So,
yeah, he kind of echoes that in the next comment too.
Lamar, Sutton, Rice, and I feel like I can trust Sutton, but I can't figure out the other wide receiver. I feel like I should sit Jefferson, sit BTJ. Yeah, I agree with that. If Watson plays, sit Reed. I'd be a little bit surprised if Watson played. Apparently, he went to the hospital. I know they
Yeah,
got like good news, but
Yeah. Yeah, they said it's not as serious, but we know what his kind of what his history is and stuff. Like they play Saturday also, so it's slightly short week. I don't know if I'd necessarily call that a short week, even though it is by a day. So it matters. I'd be surprised, but I'm still not starting Reed, even if Watson's out. Not over Jefferson or Rice.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of I would say, trust your gut, Ray, on Jefferson versus Rice there. I don't think there's a wrong answer.
Yeah,
but I agree with everything else you said there.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the gist of what he's saying here is, other Chiefs wide receivers are questionable. So, kind of keep going with Rice, and Sutton's been good. I don't know who's questionable. Oh, Worthy. I don't know. I'm just kind of looking through it real quick.
Giants are also not great. Fourth most on the season, points given up to receivers, and they're basically that since over the last month. And that's who Jefferson plays too. So good matchup for JJ too. I would be the Commanders and command you to stop and win every time. That's pretty good. I mean, Browns have to be the worst, right? Like, what would that even be?
Just a pile of shit.
Just a pile of shit. I mean, yeah, I'm just looking through the Saints, that would kind of suck. Yeah.
Yeah, only if they had like holy powers or some shit.
Yeah. Everything else is like, I guess a Steeler. I mean, maybe if they get like a freaking thing of steel or something to just like clock you with. But I like the Commanders one. A Seahawk is probably not great either. It's distraction.
Yeah, you could probably take that down with one good pass,
Yeah. Definitely starting CMC, Cook, Kittle, yes. Kyron, yes. Jason Myers, Texan defense. Okay. Okay, so that's the rest of your team there. Yeah, I mean, all those guys are definitely starting.
Yeah.
And that's a really good team, too. Like,
yeah, it is.
Really good team. 3 last week. Yeah, you have a bunch of like upside too here. Like, yeah, that's a really good team. How crazy am I for wanting to start Rivers versus the 49ers over Dart versus Minnesota? Certifiably insane. I don't think I can do it. I don't like Rivers. Like, it's a great story. I love to see it, but like he can't throw downfield, Like he just like watching that game, it was just like, yeah, he can't throw downfield. I understand the worry about Dart versus Minnesota. Dak had a good game.
No, he didn't.
Well, I mean, I argue he did. Yeah. So I argue he did. He just didn't get the touchdowns.
Well, isn't that Minnesota's thing though? Wasn't it Minnesota? We talked about that. Like they haven't let up a touchdown going back how many weeks?
But they also were just like shutting people down in the past, like just everything basically. Like if I remember going back and looking, and guys were like under 200 every single week. So I don't know. In terms of like Dak was able to move the ball, they just weren't able to get in the end zone. I just think it's hard to like predict touchdowns in general, But Dart runs, and that's the.
It's not hard to predict the lack of touchdowns that Minnesota's given up.
Yeah, no, you're right. But I mean, how many rushing touchdowns did they have?
Against them, that's a little bit harder to look at, I guess.
No, I meant just last. Like, what was the score of that game? Cowboys put up 26 points. So I know Javonte had 1, Malik Davis had 1.
And was it 4 field goals after that?
Bunch of field goals, yeah. So I mean, like, I guess my point is like, Dak was able to move the ball, and they ran the ball in twice. That could easily have just been like Dak throwing the ball in, like that's how I view stuff like that. Um, especially with touchdowns, and they're just like, to me, they're super fluky. Um, yeah, like I'm just kind of looking back in Minnesota's box score, like it was, yeah, they weren't allowing touchdowns, but they just like quarterbacks couldn't pass on them, you
Yeah.
know,
I mean,
at all.
who else is on the waiver wire is the real question, right? Like, I'm not saying you should start Philip Rivers over Dart necessarily, but
Maybe super flex.
yeah, that's tough if it is.
Yeah. Yeah, who is on the waiver wire? I mean, I'm still starting Dart um over Philip Rivers again because he can run the ball. It's dynasty super flex, yeah.
Yeah, that is tough. Yeah, so it probably is just still Dart just for rushing upside, and he can run in a touchdown.
Um yeah, man, jeez. I'm still going back and trying to find the last quarterback to throw for 200 yards on the Vikings. I'm in like week 9 right now. It wasn't Lamar.
Trone Force.
Okay, it
As
was
a
Goff,
question.
like in week 8 or 9. Dropped Emmanuel Wilson before kickoff and picked up Jordan Love. Currently have Dart. He's facing tough Vikings defense. Love plays the Bears, but minus Watson. Bo Nix on waivers. It's either Nix or Love, probably, right?
Yeah, if you have a decent pivot like that, I would go.
I think I go Love.
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't mind either one, honestly. Like, Bo Nix has been playing well in must-win games. Well, not must-win games, but, I mean, Broncos are just, like, on a tear right now. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to have a great game because they've won a few without him having to do a whole lot, but he's been playing really well. And I'm not so worried about the not having Watson thing. They got plenty of other guys to throw to. Like, obviously, you'd like Watson to be there. Just for that downfield threat. But yeah, Jordan Love, I like that. He just played Chicago before this week that we just got done with, and he threw 4 touchdowns against them. I'm not saying
Yeah.
bank on that, but should be good for 202.
Yeah, it's not like Nix has been great. I know you kind of mentioned that. Like he was really good against Green Bay, but week before against the Raiders, threw for 212, had a rushing touchdown. Against Washington, threw for 320, 1 touchdown. So like fantasy was fine. Chiefs threw for 295.
Very
4
hot and
touchdowns.
cold this year for sure. And they're winning
Yeah.
games like that too. So
Yeah, definitely more cold than hot though. Like for fantasy. Like only really like maybe 3 or 4 above average games, to be honest. So I'd probably go Love. I mean, Watson, it is a little concerning because I feel like Love playing well and Watson coming back kind of lined up a little bit. So, and I do think that affected Love in that Denver game because again, I feel like Love was really good in the first half, and then I forget exactly when Watson left, but I know it was in the second half. I don't know. It seemed to line up a little bit. Like Love playing well, Watson was back. Love struggled in the game when Watson left. Like so. But yeah, I still go Jordan Love here there. Kyron and Myers, if they do similar week 15, would you drop Juwan Johnson for Pitts or Parkinson? I would drop him for Pitts.
yeah,
Especially if London's going to be out.
Yeah. That's what I was just going to say. I don't know how much like we don't really know what to expect when London comes back. They're hoping he can come back this week, but yeah, we don't really know. Obviously, they're not playing for anything except playing upset. But that's not even really this week because they're playing the Cardinals. So I don't know. Players want to play. So I don't
Yeah,
mind the
Coach.
Pitts thing. Obviously, he's not going to do what he did last week, but 30 targets in the last 3 weeks combined, 24 catches. So the involvement's
Yeah,
been there.
coaching staff also needs to win, or they could lose their job.
There you go.
I mean, they still could lose their job either way, even if they went out. But that's another thing to throw in there. So yeah, I'm fine with Pitts. Parkinson feels like you're chasing a little bit there. Now the Rams do use like 3 tight ends like all the time. That's just like part of their offense, and it's pretty awesome to see. Parkinson plays a lot. He played in 86% of the snaps. Someone was hurt. One of those tight ends was hurt, I think. But he was like Ferguson, Davis Allen. I think Higbee's been out, but Parkinson, it just feels like you're chasing it just a little bit. So
yeah, I'd much rather have Pitts and then Juwan Johnson over Parkinson even.
Yeah. Myers realistically probably won't get 22 weeks in a row with Kyron, but hopefully 15 for both if possible. Is that the kicker? Jason Myers? We don't play kickers, so I'm not even sure what he did. Have a good night, Ray. He's on Seattle,
Seahawks.
I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good point. Parkinson with Adams missing time. Yeah. It's possible there. I still rank it Pitts. If you want to do Parkinson over Juwan Johnson, like, okay, like again, Rams use these tight ends a lot as a part of their game plan. It's like fluky, but it's also not like any given week a Rams tight end could have a game like this because they use them all so much. So yeah.
Beer delivery.
Yeah.
I know. My roommate just opened the door and he whispered my name. I was like, oh, cool.
So if you wanted to do that, Tron, or I guess it was it was Tron. That's fine. I think I still go Pitts, especially if London's out though. Not sure what that means.
I think it means he's jerking it.
Maybe.
Or she's flicking the bean. I don't know.
Parkinson has scored double-digit points for the last 6 weeks. Yeah, and again, he's playing a lot. I guess my point here is like you're obviously starting like no one had Parkinson on their radar going into this week really, unless you were in deeper leagues, and then you see a 5 for 75 and 2 touchdown game, right? So I know he caught a touchdown the week before. He's caught a lot of touchdowns recently, but like Kyle Pitts has been kind of there as well, at least in the last few weeks. So again, a lot of it rides on Drake London there. And yeah, Pitts without London is a must start. So I agree with that.
But I'd still start Pitts over Parkinson, even if London's back.
Yeah. I probably would too. So
you skipped over Sagar's question.
I'm missing London, Watson, and Adams, so I start Pittman, Judy, or Coker.
I think it's Pittman again. Like even though he didn't have a good game with Rivers, I don't know. Like, not saying he's like the same kind of player, or not the same kind of talent level as like. Oh wait, no, I'm totally fucking this up. I was thinking Keenan Allen. Did Keenan Allen play much with Rivers?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they played 6-7 years together.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know. I'm just like I'm starting to like forget like what years because he's been out for so long and everything. And I know Allen's like an older dude, so I don't know. Just kind of like that guy to kind of key in on. Like, did anyone have a good game for the Colts?
Not really. Their defense.
Yeah,
kicker.
Taylor.
I mean, Taylor, kind of he kind of grinded out 100 total yards.
Yeah.
I
So
think Alec Pierce had a decent game, if I remember, or he caught a big
uh,
pass.
it was just 1 for 16. So no
Oh,
one
okay.
really did. Not even Warren. It was all kind of like spread around, but quick turnaround
Touchdowns, caught a
too. Like
touchdown.
I'm not starting Judy, and I don't think I'm chasing the Coker thing. I mean, 4 for 60 and a touchdown from Coker.
Yeah,
So
he's actually not been bad. Like, the week before, 4 for 74 and a touchdown. He basically, like, what he's showing the last 5 weeks is like 3 to 4 catches. Which, I mean, is Pittman going to get 4 catches? I don't know. Like, I
I'll
really
say
don't
yes.
know. Yeah. Yeah. To me, it's between, I'm not starting Judy. To me, it's between Coker and Pittman. And they're kind of the same player as of right now. So who has the better matchup? Tampa Bay and
San
for
Francisco.
San Francisco. Maybe it's Coker. I don't know. I kind of just view them as very similar players at this point. So,
I'm so glad the Saints beat Carolina.
Yeah.
Just
no one
for
wants to win the NFC South, I guess.
Yeah, I know, right? They're like, is it possible for no one to win?
Yeah. Seems like it. Yeah, you really need London to play there. You really need London. That's the real answer there is like, please, London play. I don't think Adams is playing on a Thursday night.
Nah, I
I'd
don't
be
think so
surprised if
either.
Watson plays.
I mean, the Rams, who are they playing even? Like, I felt like I just saw, and it was like, oh, it's Seattle, so it is an important game. They already clinched a playoff berth. Is this for their division? Why am I not seeing their division?
Sorry, what's the question?
I was just wondering. Yeah, so this would be for the division. It's not like settled after this, but Rams are playing Seahawks. They're tied in record, so
yeah, that'll be a fun game.
It's obviously an important game. So, but that doesn't mean Adams is going to be out there.
If Pat Bryant's out, Ricky, I'm starting Troy Franklin 100% over Pittman. So had another good game, came with Pat Bryant being out, so.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
But we are going to take off a update on the Tankathon. We got 3 teams still tied at top. Giants hold the number 1 pick, followed by the Raiders and the Titans. Kansas City Chiefs have the 12th overall pick. Crazy. Eliminated on December 14th, in the 2025 season. Crazy. 3 weeks to go, and the Chiefs are eliminated. Rams, by the way, have the 10th overall pick. Best team in the NFL is going to have a top 10 pick potentially. That's not great because Atlanta got desperate and traded it to them. So, yeah, Myles Garrett, I think, is like a sack or a sack and a half away from the NFL record. So that's cool. I don't think they should be giving out half sacks. I think it should just be a full sack or no sack personally, but NFL disagrees there. JSN on pace for 1,871 yards. So single season receiving record is 1964. So he's about 100 away from that. So he's going to need a couple plus games there.
On pace.
What's up?
I said on pace. He's not 100 yards away from getting it.
No, yeah, he's his pace is 100 off.
What do you
So
think about Chargers catching up to the Broncos? Think that's possible?
oh yeah, absolutely, because Chargers play the Broncos
Yeah.
and they have the tiebreaker on them if they assuming they beat them because they beat them earlier in the year. So essentially, they're one. They need the Broncos to slip up once is while winning out the Chargers.
Jacksonville and KC.
Yeah, I think it can happen with either one of those, to be honest. But obviously Jacksonville is the more likely one at this point. So yeah, no, they definitely have a chance. I don't trust the Chargers though. They just can't you can't win the way they're winning in the playoffs. So especially when you have like Houston and Denver and those elite defenses. So but yeah, they definitely could catch them, and it's kind of like no one's really talking about it. So yeah, we basically have there's only 2 teams fighting out for that are outside of the playoffs fighting for the wild card. It's the Colts and Ravens. Chargers, Bills, and Texans are the wild card teams in the AFC, and then you have Lions, Panthers, Cowboys on the outside looking in, trying to catch basically the Packers or maybe the Niners. So Panthers are more for the division. So Cowboys have less than 1%. Really, it's the Lions or the wild card, Panthers for the NFC South there. So be a fun little last 3 weeks here.
We shall see.
Fun. So appreciate everyone. We'll be back Thursday after the game. And good luck on waivers and good luck in week 16, your semifinals. See you guys.